Piers Morgan has shared his thoughts on Nicola Sturgeon's resignation as Scottish First Minister after more than 8 years in the role. In a new column, Piers did praise Ms Sturgeon as one of the most ballsy politicians, but also blamed her downfall on woke nonsense. Ms Sturgeon had faced widespread criticism in recent weeks after the SNP's gender recognition reform bill was blocked by Westminster. The bill had been passed by the Scottish Parliament in December and removed the requirement for transgender people to have a medical diagnosis before obtaining a certificate confirming their preferred gender. Writing in his new column for The Sun, Piers praised Rishi Sunak for blocking the bill, saying it would give a legal rubber stamp to this woke nonsense and represent a shameful betrayal of women. Criticism of Ms Sturgeon was escalated when trans woman Nicola Bryson, who committed 2 rapes while living as a man named Adam Graham, was initially sent to an all-female jail for assessment. Although Bryson was moved to a male prison 3 days later and Ms Sturgeon stated, "A rapist should not be in a woman's prison," the backlash continued. In his column, Piers turned his attention to the politician's excruciating ITV interview and said he believes it played a big part in her decision to quit. Last month, Ms Sturgeon was questioned by ITV News' Peter Adam Smith, who repeatedly asked whether all trans women are women. She replied, "Look, trans women are women, but in the prison context, there's no automatic right for trans women too." She was interrupted by Mr Smith, who probed that there are contexts where a trans woman is not a woman. Ms Sturgeon stuttered before saying, "There are circumstances in which a trans woman will be housed within the male prison estate because of the nature of their crime." Piers Morgan finished his column to say that the most incomprehensible thing about Ms Sturgeon's resignation is that he always found her to be one of the most ballsy and upfront politicians when it came to facing the media music. He concluded, "Yet she's been undone, in part, by her self-imposed failure to define her own sex and defend women's rights. And for a firebrand, highly intelligent woman who trailed such a feminist blaze on the political stage, that's a tragic absurdity." Ms Sturgeon gave a press conference from Bute House on Wednesday and said she will remain in her position until a successor is appointed. She said the time is right for her to step down, something she said she knows instinctively. She said being First Minister of Scotland is the very best job in the world, adding that it was a privilege beyond measure to be the first female in the role. Then, in a nod to the row over trans rights, Ms Sturgeon denied her decision to resign came as a result of short-term pressures. She went on, "I know it might seem sudden, but I have been wrestling with it with oscillating levels of intensity for a few weeks." On Twitter, Piers commented on the news while also making a jibe at the recent furore. He wrote, "Breaking, person of indeterminate gender resigns as Scotland's First Minister."